I just want to say hello to everybody who's watching this on the replay. Don't forget, what I'd like you to do is comment down below and let me know what you're up to, where you're from, what your good, bad, and your odd was this week, because I'm sure that you had something like that too. As for this week, it's been quite an odd one, and it's one I'm glad to see the back of, to be honest. It's been an expensive week for things that have gone wrong and all of the sort of stuff you really don't want to know about. This week is a week where you could say it's going to be a little bit exciting. And the reason I say that is because I've got to go to the hospital this week. As you know, I've been talking about it a lot. My different, how can I put it, scrapes in life. You know, the things that have been going wrong and that. My health-wise, it's that time of year where I've got through it. No colds so far, all is good. But I do have to go to the hospital on Friday. Friday's the big day when I'm going to be having that sleep test I've been talking about. So I don't know how it's going to go, what's going to happen on it. But I've got this sleep test this week. Can't say I'm looking forward to it because I'm not the best sleeper in the world. And it's going to be weird. I'm going to be all wired up. I don't exactly know what happens. I expect, like everybody, I'm dreading it more than it's actually going to be. It's going to be probably something quite easy. But hopefully Friday will be the start of finding out whatever it is that's been wrong with me. And so I can look forward then and start to try and get a bit healthier. I want to just say hello to Andy Merritt and to Chris Pomfret. They're already in the chat room. If you'd like to join them, you are more than welcome. And they're very friendly in our chat room, you know. They'll say hello to you and all sorts of stuff. Even that, you can have conversations and whatever and forget about me. Now, as I said, we've got this thing going forward. And one of the other problems, I'm fat. There's no other word for it. I'm not going to be PC or anything like that. I'm going to say I'm fat. I've put loads of weight on. And last week we were watching a program on the TV called What Not to Eat. I don't know if you saw it. And it talked about all the things that we do wrong. If I've got one vice, food and drink wise, it's fizzy drinks. I am absolutely terrible. I drink loads of fizzy drinks. And so we've kind of started this week to make a little bit of difference to that. On this telly program, they were talking about this drink called kombucha or something. And I bought a bottle of it the other day and it's really weird tasting. I think it's a bit acquired taste. We bought ginger and lemon. And I have to say, I liked it, but it's a bit odd. So I'm going to be sticking out with that. And the other thing I'm going to do is to get away from drinking fizzy drinks all the time and sodas and Coke and all that sort of stuff. I bought some squash and I bought some sparkling water because that's the same, has the same kind of effect. But it's, how can I say? It's less calories, so I may be able to do that. I'm hoping to get rid of a bit of weight. I'd like to think that once we start finding out what it is that's actually wrong, that I can actually start exercising again, because I'm still having those problems. We went over the shop the other day, walked over the shop, managed to get around the shop because I carry on the trolley, and so that keeps me stood up. But I have to have a break at the end of shopping to be able to have the strength to walk back over it. So it's all a bit of a drag. And, well, we'll have to see. Now, let's have a look, see who's saying what in the chat room, because I keep seeing it's going, but I haven't had a chance to look. Andy, they think I've got a thing called sleep apnea. I'd never heard of it before, but I have to say, since I've been told that it's a possibility that's what I may have, I've heard loads of people have had it. Apparently it affects how you, it's to do with how you breathe when you're sleeping. And I know that Debs was a bit worried one night because I was apparently snoring, and when I stopped, it felt she couldn't hear any sounds at all, and she had to feel my chest to see if I was still breathing. It was that worrying for her. And so I'm hoping, it's a big hope, that it'll, if it is that, I'll be able to watch it, they'll give you a mask to put over and it helps you breathe and that. So hopefully that'll all be good. Let's have a look. Hi, OJ. Hi, Deb. How are you? Hello, Jonathan. How are you? Let's see who else is here. All right. Well, this kombucha stuff doesn't have any sugar in at all. It's I have to say, it has got a weird taste. I had a couple of glasses of it, and it's getting there. I'm getting used to it. It's an acquired taste, and I'm not great at that. I do drink water all through the course of the day, OJ or Deb, whoever it is of you talking to me. I've always been good at drinking water through the course of the day. Since I had my kidney done, I've got water with a tiny bit of squash in there. So I do drink a lot of water anyway. But I do like that fizz drink. I don't know why. I've always liked it. I drink Coke. I've got apple juice, orange, all sorts of fizz. And I'm going to get rid of that. Get rid of it all. I'm going to start using just plain sparkling water and just a touch of it to give me a bit of a taste of an evening, something different. So that's the situation. Hi, Steve. How are you? Getting ready for your quiz night. So, yeah, kombucha. I can't even say it properly now, but Andy, you've just made me giggle. I've just seen the religious campfire song, Quip. So, the newsletter went out this morning. So, if you've gotten that, you should be in your inbox now to check. If you're not there, then why not? Well, why haven't you signed up yet? Because when I do that, what I do there is the one thing that the algorithm doesn't do is tell you that what videos have been out last week and all my bits and pieces that you can catch up with. I don't actually have that much sugar apart from fizzy drink. Don't drink it in tea. We're not particularly big sweet eaters, so all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Fizzy water will work down. I don't actually, Chris, eat big dinners. I've got a plate, one of them round plates, and it's like tells you have meat there and potatoes there and veg there, the size that you can have. So it's kind of, I don't eat that. The biggest problem I have at the moment is the fact that I can't walk to the end of our road and back without having to go to bed. It's that bad. I've been to sleep this afternoon for an hour and a half to build up the energy to do this for tonight. And then when this is over, I'll go downstairs, put the telly on. Well, the telly's on, you know what I mean? I'll go down, watch the telly and fall asleep. And then she'll tell me it's time to go to bed. And then I'll go back to sleep again. Weird, I know. So, yeah, newsletter's gone out with last week's videos on, the retro video, a couple of vlogs. That's blogs rather than vlogs. They're all there. So that's the sitch with that. So I want to ask you a question. I did this on that day chart last week. I talked about it here. It went out on Thursday or Wednesday, whatever day it was, on the 14th. What did you think? Did you enjoy it? Lovely cardi, by the way. Oh, thank you, Luke. So what did you think to the video? Because to be honest with you, there's not been that many watched it. I think it's had about 104 views. Music videos usually do much better than that. But it was enjoyable to do. It took a long time to do it. But I was pleased with how it finished up in the end. What did you think, you that watched it? I think it was really odd seeing all the different records from the different years. Dapper is not one of the words that I would use. Jonathan. So yeah, I did that. That was fun to do. I will do another one next month and see how it goes. But to be honest with you, I won't be doing loads of them if people aren't bothering to watch them because it was such hard work to do. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Jonathan. Yep. I wish I was fit enough to be dashing about, Luke. That's understandable, Andy. Don't worry about it. It's something I'm gonna be talking about it in a minute about as well, because I said to you last week that I was going to change things around, and I'm going to be changing things. Do you know I've been doing this 3 years on March the 9th? I didn't realise I'd been. It's gone really quickly, you know. Hi, Mark. How are you? Good to see you, Mucker. Yeah, I've coming up to 3 years I've been doing this now. March the 9th will be the 3rd year. Now, talking about having to have a bit of resilience, let me just give you a little bit of resilience. The first year I started this, I've got notes here. I was checking this afternoon, funnily enough. On the 9th of March, 24. That was the first year. The first year was up, and I had 3,577 subscribers. That was pretty good. I was well chuffed with that. Hi, Dave. How are you? Year 2 in 2025, that 3,577 had gone. The 3,577 had gone up to 5,107. So that was quite good. But here's where the rub comes in. Here's where the rubber hits the road. And this is where I think a lot of people who do YouTube disappear. Last year, I had 5,107. And now, looking up at my thing on here, I've got 5,244. So believe it or not, I have only added 100 and odd people in the whole year to the subscription of this channel. And there have been times, I must be honest, where I've just like wanted to scream and chuck the telly out the window and all that sort of stuff, because you do all this work and it takes all this time and you see no growth in that. And I understand fully. But here's the thing. Hello, James Chavez. I look over the top. I feel like a teacher at school looking down at the pupils. So yeah, I think it's the time when people give up, because it's been a long year trying to keep moving things onwards. Hi, David. How are you? It's nice to see a few in here tonight. You're all in very early. Yep, Dave, I'm doing good. I'm just having a check out to see what you're all saying. And so, yeah, this year has been a bit of a grind. But you know what? I've got a feeling things are going to get better. And I don't know for why, but I do think that they are. Now, oh, God, that don't want to be going into that stuff. There's too much good stuff to do that. Chris, I'm not going to worry about the algorithm. I said before that last year I spent too much time looking at all of the data and the stuff that you have to do on here. And I just kind of think that it's time to have a bit of fun with this. Try a few different things. I've already recorded the video that will go out on Wednesday, and that's slightly different way of doing what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be, I've got a title for that video. Hang on a minute. I was wrong about aging. Because as you know, I'm 65 and kind of an oldie. And I found that I quite enjoyed this last year, even though I've been ill for the whole of it. There's been lots of good things that have happened, so I've quite enjoyed that, and I do believe that there's some things you learn that you don't realize at 20 and 30 and 40 that you discover. I discovered a lot when I was 55, when I became comfortable in my own skin. And that is kind of the starting place where that video goes. That'll be out on Wednesday. Now, good, bad, and odd. Can you put the good, bad, and odd things that have happened to you in this week in the chat room? And if you're watching this on the replay, down there. So the good thing about this week, I spend a lot of my time through the course of the week in this room, this one little room. So I don't see a lot of people. So this week I've had a pretty good time talking to different friends and relatives and all that kind of thing. And that's been really good. I had a good chat to my son yesterday. I caught him. He was driving back from Leicester. He's just bought a new Volvo, apparently, and he was driving it home from Leicester. And I'm still waiting for him to send me the photo of it. He told me he would do it this morning, but he never has. So that was good. Bad. There was something bad. Do you remember last week I had put the RAM memory in my PC to stop it kicking out? Well, guess what? It's still doing it. So I've spent another £100 on it this week. Took it to someone to go all through it, and at the moment it seems to be okay. So that was the bad this week. But odd. There's something really odd. You know when you get your own page up on YouTube, right? And you're looking at your own page and you see all these things and you go, I'm going to watch this. I'll watch that later. And you do, and you go and you watch whatever you're watching. And then you go back to it and it's gone, this other video that you were going to watch. Well, that was the other day. And I've spent 3 days, I think, trying to find this video that I should have actually clicked save and watch later, because I'm terrible at doing that. And I've been hunting about it. But you know what? You see the same videos over and over and over again. They come up on homepage and that. And you think, oh, I'll get it next time. I'll see this one now, and then I'll go back to that. And yet, it happens, doesn't it? How this one thing that keeps showing up on your page all the time, you go to look for it to watch it, and it's gone, and you don't know where it is. Right, then what we've got to be here. I'm just checking this lot out. David, you're right. 2026 is going to be a year of experimentation. And what does it feel like to be comfortable in your own skin? I'll tell you, it feels great. Because up until I was about 55, I wasn't. And I always used to look around and think that people were better than me and I wasn't as good as them. I was a people pleaser. I often said yes when I really wanted to say no. And it was 55 when it all fell into place. And it was 55 when it started to fall into place. And then when it really took hold was when I was 56 and I had the kidney cancer. They took the kidney out, because you get a chance when that happens. There's a period between when they find it and when when they see the lump, and then when you've told what it is. And there's this, for me, I think it was about 11 days, 12 days. And there was a period where I didn't know what it is. I knew it was serious, and I didn't know it was coming up to Christmas. I didn't know whether it would be my last Christmas. I didn't know whether I'd see a birthday. I thought of all the people that I loved and all the people that I cared about. And then I realised how lucky I was to have had the people in my life that have been in my life. There were family members. There were friends of family. There's people out there who've done such a lot for me. And up until then, I never realised it. And once I realised that, it made a whole heap of difference, you know. And I started to think, if all these people think I'm worthy of being helping me, then I must be. And with the thoughts from the year before as well, it kind of all gelled together. And it's just a fantastic feeling when you stop worrying, to be honest, about what people think of you. where I spent most of my life worrying whether people like me or not, now I kind of don't care. If you like me, that's fantastic, because this is who I am. And if you don't, that's okay, because there are people that I don't like as well, for no apparent reason. There are people that you just don't take to. And when that happened to me, it used to worry me to death, but it doesn't anymore. So that's a great thing that happens. So look, next up on here. Exactly. You've just said it, Dave, what I've just said. I did a video. There's one on here somewhere of the advice I'd give to myself when I was 20. Did it a while back. But I kind of think I've just about sort of started talking around the edges of that, Andy. What we got here? I just saw Chris somewhere and it's disappeared. Bad blood tests, bad for good reason. Yeah, I know, you've already told me about that. Yes, Mark, absolutely. Good. Start reading Richard Devil Hines. Who win that? Have you had a lot of wind down there then, Jonathan? I know you had a lot of snow and that in Cornwall. Is Plymouth Cornwall or Devon? I can never work it out. Do you know what, David? You're saying about you had no internet in Uganda. I've had times on it. I can't believe how much I've taken. The internet has took over my life. That's for everybody, I know, but it's just if you've not got the internet on for 10 minutes, I miss it like crazy. It's terrible. It's an awful thing. Now, where are we? I'm coming down this. Do you know what, Andy? I've only learned today to press the watch later button. It's terrible, isn't it? I didn't even know it was there until today when I was looking down there trying to find this thing. Current video in window tab. David, if I can, as a late bloomer, let me tell you, you could do anything you want to do if you just believe in yourself enough. And that is also something that I've learned later on in life. Wow, this chat room is going like crazy tonight. Self-acceptance takes time. Yeah, absolutely. Well, James, at least you haven't had anything odd happen to you yet. Perhaps your mum will be able to get to you next week. That'll be good. Thank you, Mark. There is a lot of nostalgia on this channel, and there's going to be more of it this year. I decided that I felt last year that as much as I talk about the life lessons and the optimism and the enthusiasm and all those sorts of things, too much of a good thing bores people. I know this because I've watched my views plummet. And so this year I'm going to still do that because I think it's all of value and it's worthy, but I'm going to do some other things as well. And I've already talked about my CDs in there. I've done a few different music videos, and there will be more of them. Let's see who's next up here. Kevin, how are you? Guys, I want to tell you about Kevin Cross Art. He's in America, and he makes the best videos. If you like art, particularly 50s style art, then have a look at his channel because it's absolutely brilliant. He's just put a video up tonight that made me giggle because it took me back to being a kid. Brilliant video. Well worth a check out. Kevin Cross Art. Go check him out. Oh, sorry about that, Mark. Sorry to hear your rabbit died. That's It's awful. I know how people love pets and that, so it's awful if you lose one. Plymouth is Devon. It must, once you get over the bridge then, Jonathan, does that it then move into Cornwall? I know you're right. Tia, how are you? Nice to see you. Right. Cream or jam on the scone first. Let me tell you, because I ate one yesterday, right? I cut it in half and I put the jam on the top and the cream on the bottom, squashed it all in, and then put cream all around it and on the top as well. That is why I'm fat. that is why I'm fat. I couldn't help myself. It was just too nice not to. Dale, how are you? Hope you're all right down there in Sussex. Hope everything's going all right for you. Oh, Andy, there is nothing worse than dodgy internet. Mine is awful. I'm still using my phone to do lives because every time I try and do a live on my webcam there, it just crashes all the time. My next door neighbour has ordered fibre, and I'm just waiting to see what happens so I can get mine ordered and get it on here as well. Blimey, Mark, 90,000 views in 24 hours. I don't think I've had that in the last year. That's brilliant. Well done. Although for the content of it, I know it's quite sad. Guys, you're doing really well tonight. I'm struggling to keep up with you. Chris, did you chat to the fox? Was there anything going on there, or did you just stop and then look? TikTok, right? Okay. One of the things that I decided way back in the summer was that being on social media, the majority of it, I mean, I was on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, wasn't on Twitter or X or whatever you call it, never could get on with that. I joined up a couple of times and quit it a couple of times because I couldn't make head nor tail of it. But I stopped most of them. The only social media I'm on these days are YouTube, and I can't even remember where I. Let me just go and check. And Substack, that's the one I was looking for. Could not remember the name. How terrible is that? They're the only things that I'm on social media now because it's all got far too political for me. And I don't see why you should be arguing with people you don't know, which is what seems to go on ever such a lot on social media. So I've called it a day on there, and it's made life really good. It's made what I used to do, and not reading the papers as well. What it does is it means that I don't wake up, pick up my blooming phone, and then start reading it and start my day off like that. Because that's what I used to do. I used to get up, pick the phone up, start looking at it, scrolling up the page, doing that thing. And for me, it didn't work. It was just a bit of a pain all the time. So I'm glad to not be doing that. I haven't missed it, to be fair. I haven't shut the pages down. Facebook, I go on there every day and check my memories. That's all I do. Go on there, read through my memories from the last year. I save any of them in case there's anything that I want to rehash or talk about on my videos, even because I get some of my ideas from there, but I haven't looked on the Facebook homepage to see what anyone's doing since August. And to be honest, I've got no real desire to go back to it. Let's have a look. Talk among yourselves. I'll be with you in a second. Funny enough, David, you said use the community page to call for ideas from us, and that is exactly what I did yesterday. There is a post on my community page. I think the problem with posts, I don't know, tell me if you think the same, is that you don't see them very often. I seem to see one from anyone I'm subscribed to once every blue moon. It's you don't kind of get the community posts. I don't anyway. I think I see 3 on the homepage, and that's it. I don't really see too many, and I use it all the time, and I leave comments on there, and I get very few answers from there. And so, what you're saying, absolutely, David. Ask for ideas from us. Is I've got that written down on here. Funnily, you should say that. Talking about with the things that I'm going to change this year. What would you like me to do? If you're watching on the replay, leave it down below. If you're watching live, then put it in the chat room and I can scribble it down on a bit of paper, which I have next to me as well. Let's see. Oh, Andy, I can't wait to get fiber. To upload a video, a 10-minute video upload from here takes me at the moment around 2 hours. It's so slow, it's unbelievable. I would post more. The truth of the matter is I do want to post more this year, because when I first started the channel, I was putting out 3 videos a week. Now I do a live stream and 1 video, and it's not enough. I think I should do more. I think I should do more. I don't want to go overdo it and bore everybody to tears, which I have been known for. So, but I'd like to try and find that, you know what I mean, that the happy medium, if you like. Friends Reunited. Do you know what? I was never on that. I remember it being advertised. MySpace, I was on it for about 4 days, and then I've discovered Facebook, and so I went there. I've heard about this Wordle thing, but I haven't seen it. You're right, Jonathan. The internet is a great servant, but a bad master. And that's so right, because once it gets control of you, it has you, doesn't it? I felt like I was addicted to it. There was a period with Facebook when I would have it running in the background and I would be looking at it all day long. It used to take over my life. I had loads of friends on there, mostly because of the radio shows that I used to do. I dropped it off in the end. I think I've got about 800 on there now. But it's all adverts from what I can remember. That was the other thing. You'd have to scroll in between the adverts or the featured posts. You never seem to see anybody that you actually know anymore on there. That was one of the reasons that I went. If you post regularly, David, I post on my community page. Must be 3 or 4 times a week. I don't post on the day of a video. I post the day before, and I post in between videos. I think I post at least 4 days a week, to be honest with you. Synopsis of my favorite self-help books. Do you know what, Jonathan? I've actually got that on my list because you wrote it, you told me that before, and it's on this list somewhere. I will get around to it, I promise. Wow, I've caught you up. I've caught you up, guys. I tell you what made me laugh today. Apparently, YouTube is now watched in the UK, is the most watched channel, more than the BBC, more than ITV, and all those sorts of things. And I heard today that the BBC is thinking about making programs specifically for YouTube, which is a joke because most of their telly is repeats and rubbish these days. And if you don't want to watch it on their normal telly, why would you want to watch it on YouTube? I couldn't believe it when I read that today. James, make it less serious. That's what I've been trying to do by adding the other things in. I don't think generally that the live streams are that serious. I've tried my best to keep the live stream as it is, just like a meetup, so that it's not a serious thing. I like the fact that we just meet here, we have an hour, have a chat. It'd be nice if we was in a pub and we could do it in a pub. That'd be fun. No doubt, Dave. I agree with that. I think the BBC's had it, to be honest with you. God, blimey, it's getting quick again. I'm going to have to keep it catching up. Have I read Harry's book Spare? No, I'm not interested in Harry or Meghan or any of that fallout, to be honest. They didn't want to be in the royal family. They went to America. Bye-bye. That's my opinion. I don't want to know. I'm not that interested in them. Do you know what? I watch more YouTube than anything else. I watch YouTube and I watch DVDs. And I'm going to do a video about that before, because I did a video a few years ago about why I stopped streaming, and it's still my best video. It's still the one that gets 30, 40, 50 views a week, every week. And I kind of should update that and do another one, because I watch more DVDs than I do TV. We're still glued to ER at the moment. I'm in that series 10. We've been watching Ballykiss Angel again. I don't know about you, but someone said the other day about why would you watch old telly again when you can stream on Netflix and see something new. Now, I don't know about you, but I am the age that I am. And rather than watch tons and tons of new stuff that I'm not that interested in, it's like a comfort blanket, you know. I can go back and watch an old TV series and old films that I really like already. And Debs tells me I forget everything that's in a program anyway. So when I watch it again, it's like new. It's not really the case, but she does insist it at times. But I kind of, we used to have two groups on Facebook called the Sunday Afternoon Film Club, one for old films and one for newer films. And there are programs that I like and watched on the telly, and I bought series of, purely because they were like a Sunday afternoon or a Sunday evening thing. I loved Lovejoy. I loved Howard's Way. I loved Born and Bred, all them sorts of things. Yes, they are available on Freeview channels now, but I kind of like them without the adverts. And having them on DVD means that I don't have to watch the adverts. That's always good. If you like, Andy, if you like documentaries and interesting stuff, you've got to check out the Internet Archive. There's loads of stuff on there that you can watch. That's well worth watching. Where am I? God, you guys are well in front of me tonight. Do you know what? They already are trying, the BBC. They're doing all they can, but they're a failing thing. They're going backwards. There's no doubt about it. BBC, I could not believe it when MTV stopped doing music videos. That was such a loss. Yeah, Rain, that's exactly what they'll be like when they'll want us to pay for it all. The BBC, David, used to be up there. It was the top standard, but it's got so bad. It's unbelievable. It's very political. I'm not going to go into that because we don't do politics on here, but it is. And a lot of the programs are of no interest to me anymore. I can't. Don't get me wrong. There are some good. They do put some good little like mini series on 6 episodes of different things, and we still watch it and we still pay for it. But we watch less of it than we've ever done. Most of the time these days, we watch DVDs. Uh, Andy, don't bother with a DVD player. Get yourself a Blu-ray. They're not much dearer, and the qualities are better. You get an uplift on the quality of the DVD picture. Darling Buds of May, Dave. We've just watched the lot over the last few weeks. We bought the box set about when the lockdown was on, and we've just watched it again, and it was brilliant. The Internet Archive is a bit of a maze here, I know, but it's really good. Really, really good. The Star at Night. Cool, that's going back a bit, Jonathan. I still do, Andy. I still watch the terrestrial and Freeview and that. I begrudge paying extra money to watch telly. I don't know whether it's that I'm tight, could be, but I don't like paying a subscription to watch programs that I can't keep. It is as simple as that. If I like the thought that I can buy a DVD for really cheap. You know, if you've watched this channel a while, I've had loads of DVDs given to me, even free, and the fact that I can watch them instead of paying some channel to watch something just makes sense to me. I've got very much like my dad, you know. There was when I was young and growing up, my dad would always say about not spending money, more money than you've got, and never getting yourself into debt and that. And I realised that when I bought my first car, I bought a Volkswagen Scirocco back in '85, I suppose, and had that and paid for that hire purchase. And I loved it. I loved this car. I thought it was fantastic. That first month was brilliant. And then when I realised I had to, for the next 2 years, keep paying for it every month, it kind of lost its edge. So I don't personally, I haven't bought a car. The car I've got now, I paid for in cash, and that's the way I go with things. I don't like having debt. I got out of debt, having lost my business years ago, and losing pretty much everything. Debt is not a place I like to be anymore. So I don't buy what I haven't got the money for. It's as simple as that these days. Yeah, I agree with that, Rain. I would Virgin when I moved here. Virgin is already here, and I used to get letters like every week saying we can save you £400 a year if you sign up to this deal. And I got sick of them, so I sent them a letter back, or I put a return to sender on the envelope, and on the back I went, I can save even more if I don't use Virgin at all. That's just the kind of person that I am. Now, what else have we got? Yeah, I've got through all my notes. We're doing quite well at the moment. I'm going through all of my notes, and I've caught up, apart from Match of the Day, which I watch on iPlayers, so you can pause it. I don't. Do you know what, Mark? I've lost all my love of football on the telly. The only thing football I like to watch now are the old big match reruns from the '70s. I've kind of can't raise any enthusiasm for modern football. unless it's non-league and you're at a game and it's live. But I just can't be bothered. The money is scandalous what everyone's being paid. I don't think the quality's any better. I really don't like the fact that everybody falls over at just a glancing touch these days. Or if you should blow in their ear, they'll fall over. I can remember watching that. If you watch the big match replays on ITV4 or whatever it is, you can see people coming at them, chopping their legs away, and they just get straight up and get off, up and start running again. It's so. Yeah, I agree with that as well, Dave. I don't think politics should be brought into sport at all. And I hated all that taking the knee and all that sort of stuff. Not because it wasn't a good cause, but I don't want it in sport. If I want to watch sport, I want to watch sport. I don't want to be surrounded by the other stuff. Even the World Cup now is ridiculous. England played in their groups, and it was just a waste of time. All the clubs, they've got so many clubs in it now that the round before you get into it, the qualifying rounds are just a joke, and they're not worth watching. So that's my thoughts on football and sport. Anyway, I'm getting on a rant, man. I could do a rant if I carried on like that. So what else do we want to talk about this evening, folks? I would agree with that totally, Steve. And why do we have to have every manager from abroad? Why can't we teach English managers to manage our football teams? There you go. That's one for you. Oh, I love Friday nights for Top of the Pops. Dave, I love all them. I don't watch from the 90s onwards, though, to be honest. I don't watch from the 90s onwards because I prefer the ones that was in my age group. I was in the 40s I was in my 40s by the time the 90s came around. I was in my 30s, I tell a lie. But no, the old Top of the Pops are great. They had a couple on the other week from like 1976, which is actually my era. I was 16, so it was when it was really, really good for me. The 70s, the early 80s. I wish they hadn't got rid of them all. I love the earlier. The earlier they are, the better they are to me. I really enjoyed those ones, but we've seen a lot over that are all very samey at the minute. I like the fact that they play a version of Top of the Pops that was out at this time of year. I always find that looking back, I can remember what I was doing at those things. Top of the Pops in the 70s was brilliant, wasn't it, Steve? Seeing Slade on there every other week was always great. But what I've found out, what I've noticed, it must be as I'm getting old. Anyone who's aging, when you look back on there, even the rubbish songs, even the ones that I thought was rubbish at the time, I actually quite like now. I've even found myself singing along to Pussycat in Mississippi, which I would never have done in 1976. So yeah, it's they're the things that the BBC are good for, I have to say, is picking up those old things. What's up? I have still got WhatsApp, I must admit. I've got that. I talk to my boys on WhatsApp. Right, let's have a look. I know it's such a game. You know the BBC recorded over them. Well, I was best man. Different. I'm going off on a tangent just because it's just made me smile. Back in the early 80s, I was best man to a friend of mine at his wedding. And my brother-in-law, because back at this time, they didn't really have many people videoing weddings like they did because the videos were about as big as that and sat on your shoulder, the cameras. And so at this wedding, my brother-in-law recorded this the wedding, all coming up the aisle and everything and all that sort of stuff. And I said to him before he did it, go and buy a new tape. Make sure you got a new tape in there so it records fresh. And he went, I will. But he didn't. And he recorded this wedding, and we were all sat in his living room, loads of us, the bride and the groom, me, my wife, a few other people were sat in there watching it. And he puts this video on. He said, here's the wedding. And he puts it on and he recorded it over the top of a cowboy film. And you see the bride and the bridesmaid just coming all up the path, as you do. And you hear this voice coming out the side, and it's going, there they are, guys, let's get them. And it was over a cowboy, and you could hear and it ruined the video totally. It was funny as hell, but it ruined the video totally. And then what happened after that was I had the video and then put music over it all, so they ended up with a silent video, because throughout their wedding video, in the vows and everything, the sound from the recording that they were recording over bled through into it. So while the vicar was doing everything, conducting the service, there was a sheriff talking to so and so, and it was funny to watch him. Because for me, watching my brother-in-law cringe was just brilliant. I really enjoyed it, but it was so terrible for them who'd had their wedding video ruined just because he wouldn't put a new one in. And that's what it reminded me of when you were talking about the BBC wiping the tapes. I would love 50s and 60s hullabaloo on YouTube. I'll have to have a look at that. Oh no, Deb, it's too late. Just put it out. It ain't gonna hurt. You've either got a choice. You can either put the video out and not worry about it, or you can cancel it and re-edit it and put it back up. James Chavez, I never even give that a thought. Could have been worse, yes. So we've got about 8 minutes before I go down and check out the telly and go to sleep for the evening. This has been fun tonight. Yeah, what we've got coming up. You have got a video out on Wednesday, which will be good. Jamie, how are you in Blackpool? What's the weather like up there? Is it blowing a gale? Hope you're all right. Hope everything's going well for you. Sport in the 80s, Saturday afternoon wrestling. That was ITV, wasn't it? The World of Sport. Used to watch that. Wrestling was great, Mark. I remember going to when I lived in Somerset when I was a teenager, in the Winter Gardens at Weston-super-Mare. They used to have wrestling, and I can remember going, and there was a guy called Masambula, and he was like massive, and then you'd see him fighting, and I got totally into it. We all know it was a game, but it was really great to watch live. It was real fun. I loved the wrestling when I was a kid. But what made me really laugh was when we went to the wrestling. It was like all around the ring, the people in there was like old ladies of about 70, all there with bag of sweets. They got a handbag on their lap, eating boiled sweets and watching it and shouting at them. It was brilliant. Loved a bit of wrestling. It was entertainment, wasn't it? It wasn't sport, but it was fun. So yeah, that's where we sit at the moment. There are a few things, as I said, with the video on Wednesday. That's a normal video, but filmed in a different way. You'll see what I mean then. Just trying something different, just trying out some different things, just to make it so it's not all the same all the time. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm aiming to do. And as David said earlier on, if you've got anything that you think you'd like me to try and have a go at, you can write it in the chat room, or if you're watching us on the replay, leave some messages down below the comments. It's really odd. I always get a lot of comments on the videos, and yet when the replay of the live stream goes down and goes out the next day and that, hardly anyone ever comments. It is really, I find that really odd that people don't comment on it, even though I know it gets lots of views because I can see that it does. So yeah, if you've got anything that you'd like, I like the live stream, to be honest with you, Mark. I really enjoy the live stream because I get to chat with you guys. It's fun to do. You ask questions and say things and sometimes send me off on a little tangent, and I enjoy that. Big Daddy Giant Haystacks, Kendo Nagasaki. What about Jackie Pallo? Do you remember him? He had to have had black hair and it was like flat to his head. That was great. I loved the wrestling. It was just fun, wasn't it? Although at 14 my love was football. I enjoyed cricket in the summer, and I loved the sport. The sport on telly was great because you could watch On the Ball, then you watched World of Sport, and then on the other side you had Grandstand, didn't you? Mick McManus, that's who I meant. Jackie Pallo had long grey hair, didn't he? That's right. You're right, Mark Schofield. I got it wrong. It was Mick McManus that had the hair sprayed. I don't think he had any hair. I just think someone used to go there and spray black paint on the top of his head because it just seemed like it was just this black thing on top, wasn't it? Yeah, Jackie Pallo was the one with the grey hair who looked a bit like George Cole. See, you say that it was that nobody ever got hurt in it, but loads of you know who they were. Saint and Greavesy were brilliant. I spent an evening with Jimmy Greaves back in the early 2000s when I was a director at Weymouth Football Club, and he come and did a gentleman's evening where he talked about football and that. We spent a couple of hours before that with him, and such a nice character, you know, really a nice character Jimmy Greaves was. Well, we've got 2 minutes to go. Anything else you'd like to just chat about, ask about? I'm just trying to check that I haven't missed everything out. I'm going to try, although I can't walk far at the minute, I'm going to try and do some videos outside because I get sick of being in here all the time. I'm hoping it may be I'll just sit in the garden and do something, or drive the car to some park or something and just sit in the park and have a chat, because I get fed up with being in this room, to be honest with you. So I'm hoping to do something like that over the next week. I may just, instead of spending a lot of time working on plans for a video, I may just start picking the camera up and just chatting to you like I used to do. I always found they were much more fun, just talking about things that come into my mind on the course of the day. I might go back to doing that again. I haven't done any videos really, films and stuff. I'm going to have to do that. Show us the town where I live. I don't actually live in a town, Jamie. I'm about 7 miles outside Cambridge. It's a village. But when you think of a village, you think of all these nice little old houses and cottages and little lanes and that. But ours is nothing like that at all. Ours is a village they started building it in 1966. The house that I'm in is one of the first houses in the first street that was built. But as you go around, there's a ring road goes around it, and there's an industrial estate over the other side. So it's a village, but it's bordering on a small town, I suppose. But the shops from my house, you could be when you're feeling fine and normal, you can be at the shops in 5 minutes. and it's just like a parade of shops. With one parade of shops, it's got a fish and chip shop, it's got a Costa, Specsavers, Tesco, all them sorts of things. So it's nothing special. I can do one, and I will do one at some stage. But I don't seem to get out enough. Jamie on his channel is out and about all the time. He lives in Blackpool, and so it's really nice because he does a lot of videos around the town and along the seafront. He's very lucky to be able to do that. Right, and so we are there. It's just gone 7 o'clock. It's been fun again tonight. I'm going to be off. I don't like to keep you too long. I don't want to bore you so that you stop coming back. I think an hour is just about the right kind of time limit for this. Thank you very much. It's been fun again. You guys in the chat room tonight, whoa, I just couldn't keep up with you. There's been stuff flying up there all evening. So that's been really brilliant. Dave, it sounds like your local town's like every other town in the country. Cheers, Steve. Thank you very much. Go and do well at your quiz. And the rest of you guys, thanks for being here. Thank you for taking part in it. If you're watching the replay and you're still here at this stage of the game, thank you so much. I hope you've commented down below. Anyone who's in the chat room now, if you think of something you'd like me to talk about, just go on this download, head into there, and just leave a comment there, and we'll see how we go. Well, that's it from me. Thank you very much, everybody. I will see you very soon. Good night now. Ta-da.